Hello, I would like to explain you how to use RadarOpus to run the polarity analysis according to Heiner Frei. You will see that RadarOpus can function in a slightly different way than maybe you are used to, but this is only expressing the flexibility and the strengths of the program. When you order the polarity analysis, you will get two parts. One part is the therapeutic pocketbook authorized by Heiner Frei. It is based on the original work by Bönninghausen of 1846, but with some change to the symptoms, remedies, degrees, and especially the polar symptoms. The second part is a particular way of functioning of RadarOpus, how to find, take and analyze symptoms as desired by Heiner Frei. Let me show you immediately how this works. When you open RadarOpus, you know that you enter a repertory screen to start. In this case, exactly this screen, the therapeutic pocketbook's first page. And in this screen, you can start typing a word like exertion. You hit enter once to enter the word, a second time to launch the search, and you will see a search result showing the symptoms containing that word. In this case, I desire the aggravation from exertion of the body, and I click on this symptom. By clicking on the symptom, I select it, and I also add it to the first symptom clipboard. In this search analysis, in the search results screen, the search box is still available, and I can type one or more words again straight away, like warm wraps, hit enter twice, and see all the symptoms containing exactly those words. Or not exactly those words, because as you see, I type warm wraps, and wrapping warm is what is found. This is because every RadarOpus user, in different languages by the way, has the access to a thesaurus, which helps you find symptoms much more easily and more secure. In this case, it is the amelioration from wrapping up warmly that I need. I click on it and I add a second symptom to my symptom clipboard. Now I will show you that I typed the symbol of aggravation, and watch the search box closely. You will see that the symbol is changed into the word aggravation, to which I can type or add another word like cold, and I will see all those symptoms containing aggravation from cold. In this case, I select the symptom aggravation from coldness in general, which is added to my symptom clipboard. Like this, I can go on. I will add another symptom, which is aggravation from pressure. I see all the aggravations of pressure symptoms in the therapeutic pocketbook, and it is the aggravation from external pressure that I want to select for this patient. And like this, I will add one last symptom, which is a symptom of fracture, because the patient has a problem that the fracture of the bone was not healing. One word to find the symptom is enough. Here, bones are slow to harden on the level of the fracture. I click on the symptom and I will see the symptom, all the symptoms. Now, when I go to the analysis by clicking on this analysis icon. Here is the full analysis. And by the way, please be aware that even in the analysis, the search box is here on top. You can type another word or few words in it and find your next symptom to add to the analysis in a very easy and fast way. At this instance, however, I will explain you the analysis screen line by line. So first of all, you see the sum of symptoms that are covered by a remedy. Like in this first instance, hepasulfur is covering 1, 2, 3, 4 symptoms. So there is a figure 4 on the top here saying that the sum of symptoms for hepasulfur is 4, whereas for hyoscyamus it is 3, because it covers only 3 of the 5 desired symptoms. Okay? The next line, polar symptoms, is the sum of the degrees of the polar symptoms. So we make the addition for hepasulfur. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So sum of polar symptoms is 14. Please be aware, if we do the same for silica, we have 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 4 is 14, and the 3 here is not counted because this is not a polar symptoms. The fracture of the bones not healing or healing slowly does not have a polarity symptom. This is indicated by the absence of the polar symbol in front of the symptom and also by the P at the end of the text of the symptom to make you aware which symptoms are polar and which not. It is only the polar symptoms, 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this case, that will have an opposite polar symptom in the second symptom clipboard, the opposite polar symptom clipboard. Okay? So the second line is the sum of the degrees of the polar symptoms excluding the non-polar symptoms. Then the third line is the opposite polar symptoms, and I will now do it for silica, where it is 4. Well, this is the sum of degrees in the second clipboard. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. And then the last line, the most important line, and therefore in bold, is the polarity difference, which is, how shall I say, visualized in a very easy and transparent way as the difference between those two lines. So hepasulfur has a polar difference from 14 minus 1 is 13, whereas silica has 14 minus 4 is 10. The polarity difference is the most important parameter in this approach. The higher it is, the more likely this remedy fits the patient. Now, this repertorization, this analysis shows you a ranking. Hepar is the first with 13, and then there are 3 remedies with 10 as a polar difference. Is hepasulfur the best choice in this case? It is not, because the symptom of slow hardening of bone fracture is not covered by hepasulfur, and it is silica among this first lot of symptoms is the only remedy which is covering all the other polar symptoms but also the slow healing of fracture. So silica seems to be the best possibility for this patient. Now there are other ways to reason about the best possibility, and one important one is to be aware of the so-called contraindications. Contraindications means that your patient has a certain symptom, but that the remedy suggested has the opposite symptom even stronger. And this is the case for Rhus-Tox. Contraindications are shown always in the second clipboard, the opposite polar symptoms, and always by a red rectangle as the background of your degree. So here we see that Rhus-Tox has a 3, and this is standing for amelioration from pressure. And indeed, if we go to the corresponding polar symptom, we see that Rhus-Tox does have only a 1 degree for the aggravation from pressure. So even if my patient has worse from external pressure, then Rust-Ox has more strongly amelioration from external pressure. And so this is a nice way to differentiate Rust-Ox with silica or even hypersulfur, because these remedies have a strong aggravation from external pressure and no or very weak amelioration from external pressure. This is what we call an absolute contraindication. So one last item on this display of the symptoms is that you must be aware that the symptoms here are presented in a telegraphic way. Just a symbol of aggravation, exertion from, and as you can see in the rectangle, the symptom in its totality, in the repertory itself, is much longer. So it is abbreviated to make the readability as easy as possible. At last, I must tell you that you can save this case by typing Ctrl S, showing you this screen. You type whatever name you would like to type, like Frei 0711. I save the case, and when I delete all the symptoms now, the only thing I need to do to recall it is hit Ctrl R, which shows me the opposite screen. I can type Frei, go back here to my most recently taken case, 0711. I click on it, and exactly the same case is imported in my RadarOpus. I can look at it, edit, use it again, and so on. So to save and recall the polarity analysis is the last step, and this is done in an easy way by using the features, the keystrokes, hotkeys, Ctrl S and Ctrl R. These are the basics of using the polarity analysis in RadarOpus. Thank you very much.